Hey friends, Peggy Hall back with you from thehealthyamerican.org. I'm going to be sharing a letter that I got from a Healthy American and her concern over the American Community Survey. And it looks like this. Let me know if you received this in the mail or if you know somebody who did, and it's something that they are telling you you are required to fill out by law. Well, we're going to do a little digging into this. I'm going to share with you the laws that they say require and enforce your participation. And we're going to dig a little deeper on that because this questionnaire really rubs me the wrong way in more ways than one. So let me know if that's something that you received, if you participated in it. And I will say that this is not a Census Bureau data collection. This is called an American Community Survey, and apparently it is random. And I know that some people have filled this out with some, how shall I put it, very creative responses. Friends, I got an email, not an email, I got a letter, and I get so many letters from my lovely Healthy Americans. And this is such a beautiful card from Yosemite that a friend of Cynthia's took. And she said, Dear Peggy, thank you for another year of your tireless research, education, critical thinking, inspiration, fun, snarkiness, combining of new words, problem solving, and offering solutions, positivity, and encouragement. I love watching your Healthy American videos, your Living Swell, and your private monthly webinars. So friends, if you are a financial partner or if you are a paid subscriber at peggyhall.tv or over at my Substack, peggyhall.substack.com, you're invited to join us. It's once a month, the last Saturday of every month, 4 p.m. Pacific. It is recorded. If you can't make it live, you get access to all the recordings. And it's our Q&A, and it's censorship free, and you get to connect with others in the community. You're not on the screen. I am, along with Pastor David. Once in a while, we have a guest speaker join us as well. So if you think you should be on that list and you're not, email support@thehealthyamerican.org. She said, thank you for continuing to do all the things. You and Pastor David are a joy to listen to. And I also tune into Pastor David's True Hope Tuesdays, and that's here on YouTube as well. I'm not one to comment in YouTube, but I am there cheering you on, often laughing out loud and praying for you. I'm usually listening when I'm cooking dinner. Anyway, she goes on to say, I love that you are helping to keep me sane these last many 2 years to count. And she said, I also do gardening, puzzling, cooking, my faith, my family, and you have helped me stay sane. Now, here's what's interesting. She says, you asked for future topics, and I recently received a U.S. Census Bureau lengthy survey. We're going to look at that in just a moment. And honestly, I thought it was a scam. She said, I'm fairly certain the next census is 2030. Well, apparently now there's something called the American Community Survey, and it says that we're required by law to complete it. Of course, it's beyond invasive. I asked several neighbors and friends about the current U.S. Census American Community Survey, and they had not gotten one. She said, now I've gotten a final notice to complete it, or someone will come knocking at my door. Anyway, we'll see what happens. My husband thinks they don't have the people to go knocking on people's doors. What do you think about it? What's the history behind it? Why are they doing it? What happens to people who refuse to participate? I would love to hear your insight on it with gratitude and blessings. Cynthia, P.S. I love your rants. Cynthia, I love hearing from you. So grateful to have you on board. And I did a little digging. Rest assured that the U.S. Census Bureau is a giant bureaucracy, and it's highly unlikely that anyone will come knocking at your door. But what I want to show you is the U.S. censorship. How about them apples? The U.S. Census. Gee, that was a little Freudian slip, wasn't it? And here we have it, the United States Census Bureau. And I did a little digging to see what Cynthia had gotten. And it is, this is what it's called, the ACS, American Community Survey. And look at this ACS data users group. Take a look at that little logo. And it put me in mind of these other logos of the New World Disorder. I did a video on that some time ago. I do need to give an apology to a Healthy American who said, Peggy, I had a logo made for my company and you showed it on your screen and I am not a part of the New World Disorder. So I wrote him back and I said, I'm glad you set the record straight. It just goes to show how common this type of logo is and how sadly more and more people are going along with it. And I guess it's connecting the clots, as I say. So anyhow, that is one of the things that they have here in their survey database. And what I did is I clicked through to the actual survey. Now, I want to look at this, and then I want to share with you the law that they are threatening you with. And you know what I like to do? I like to read between the lies. And my understanding of this law is a little bit different from what the American Census Bureau is showing you. So here we go. This is not a census. This is a survey, an American community survey. And apparently it's random because Cynthia's neighbors did not get it. So they want all of your information, your phone number, number of people that live in this address. So it's sent to your address. And I'd like to know if the new American visitors that have just arrived, if they are filling anything out. So they want to know your ethnic origin, right? They want the names of every person. They want their race. Hello, I thought we weren't going by races anymore. There's only one race. I would put human race, human race, human race in each of these answers. There is only one race. It is the human race. Yes, there are different skin colors. There are different nationalities, ethnic backgrounds, traditions, but one race. All right. I think this is really, what do you think? Here it says, what is the person number one sex? And you only get to choose male or female. Well, wait a minute. I thought we had an endless choice. Can I be offended by this option of just male or female? That is not very woke, excuse me, or inclusive or diverse or equitable, as we're told that we should. All right. And it goes on. I'm just increasing the size a little bit. It's got the second person's name. They want information on every single person living at that address. And then if they want to know how they are related to you, who is filling it out. And here we go again. Biological son or daughter? Well, does that mean? What does that mean? I thought we didn't have sons and daughters anymore. That's rather narrow-minded of whoever put this survey together. How do you know if it's a biological? Does that? Come on now. Mother or father? I thought we were saying parent one and parent two. Let's get with the program now, shall we? So I would scratch that out and say parent one and parent two. Like I said, some people are getting very creative. Some other race. Well, we know that there are some people now that identify as dogs and cats, maybe even aliens. I suppose they could write that down as well. Oh, by the way, couldn't you identify as, if you wanted to, like I do, for example? I forgot to mention, I am fully immunized. Yes, just like God made me. I want to go on the record to state that I am just like God made me. And, but if you wanted to identify as fully immunized, I suppose you could. Couldn't you? I thought we were identifying as anything we wanted to these days. Reality doesn't matter anymore. So it goes on to have the same information for all the additional people. I think it goes on for 7 individuals. Oh no, here we go. Person 10, person 11, and 12. Now they want to know about your home. So are you in a mobile home, a one family house? Detached, it goes on and on and on. I don't see anything here, excuse me, it's not very inclusive for the outdoor people. And I say that with all sincerity. We have healthy Americans that have chosen to live off the grid. Oh, here we go. Boat, RV, van, etc. So I guess that is inclusive, but what about if you are not even in one of those? You're just an outdoor person. What if you are in a shipping container? Like in Lahaina, where they want to put you. Then they want to know how many acres are on your property. How about your agricultural products? Gee, that sounds like exactly the information you want the federal government to have. How many separate rooms are in this house? Now, let's not go drawing conclusions that they want to bring the new visitors, the new Americans who are visitors that are going to be permanent visitors that are taking cash handouts from your tax money. Yes, let's not draw any conclusions that the federal government wants to know exactly how many homes you might have available for these new Americans. No, I would never do that. How many of these rooms are bedrooms? Holy smokes. It goes on and on and on. We're halfway through. It's very, very invasive. Do you have hot and cold running water, a bathtub or a shower? What about your internet? How many automobiles do you have? Do you use any computers, smartphone, tablet? It goes on and on. This one really rubs me the wrong way. Which fuel is used most in heating this house, apartment, or mobile home? All right. Yes, I'm sure that's exactly the information that you want the federal government to have. And they are going to harass and intimidate you and tell you that you're going to be thrown into jail or have a $5,000 fine, which is not true. I'm going to show that to you in just a moment. They want to know the cost of your electricity. Are you in a, let me just decrease the size a tiny bit so we can see it. Are you a part of an HOA? It goes on and on and on. What's your monthly rent? What was the cost for your energy? Did you receive any food stamp or supplemental nutrition assistance program? I'm sure you want to give all this information to the federal government, don't you? And then how much do you think your house and your property is worth? What are your mortgage payments? Friends, I can't imagine anyone, well, let me say, except for those that are human pincushions and like what the government tells them to do and go along with what the government tells them to do. I can't imagine anyone wanting to go along with this. And you have the information about attending school. Where were you born? Are you a citizen? I'm sure all of that's going to be filled out completely accurately with no creative answers whatsoever. They want to know about your education, your diploma. This is absolutely stunning to me. What about the language? Do you speak English well? What other languages do you speak? This is unbelievably invasive. Now they want to know about your health insurance. Are you paying for your health coverage? Do they receive tax credits? What is your marital status? Have you been married, widowed, divorced? I mean, this is absolutely stunning. How about this? Because of a physical, mental, or emotional condition, does this person have serious difficulty concentrating, remembering, or making decisions? It goes on and on and on. Let me know in a comment if I'm off base, if there is any reason whatsoever that the government needs this information. They want to know about your military history. They want to know about grandparents. I can't, do they have anything about dogs and cats? Are you working? How much were you paid? How many people usually ride to work in a car or truck or van? Oh my gosh, this looks like it's gearing us up for those 15-minute smart cities. They want to know about your employment. Are you working for profit, nonprofit, local government, state government? On and on it goes. Your Social Security, your railroad retirement, your income, all of your wages, salary, commissions. This is absolutely stunning. And then you can go on and have the same information for the other person or people in your homes. Now, here's what happens when you do a search and you say, am I required to follow this? I'm just going to type it in right now. Do I have to answer the census? All right. And you hear, I'm just going to do a giggle search because it's so very funny. We'll see what they're telling the rest of the world. And here we have it. It says, am I required to fill out? Now, this is a census form. This is different than the American survey. It says refusal to respond can result in a fine. However, no one has been prosecuted for failing to respond to the census since 1970. And even on this, let's do I think there's FAQs here as well. I may have come across it earlier, but it does say, actually, let me find that for you, friends. All right, here we go. Under the question, do I have to respond to the American Community Survey? That's what I showed you. It's from the Census Bureau, but it is not a census. And the answer is yes, you are legally obligated to answer all the questions as accurately as you can. Now, can you already read between the lines here? You're legally obligated to answer all of the questions if you are answering them as accurately as you can. And then it gives these laws, and we're going to click right through Title 18 USC Section 3571. And I did that previously, and it says it has crimes and criminal procedure for failure to follow a federal statute. And it goes on and on for misdemeanors, different fines. This is not specific to the census whatsoever. And then it has another Section 3559, which is a classification of offenses, crimes, and criminal procedure. But again, it has nothing to do with actually whether or not you have to fill out this form. They are trying to bamboozle you. And then it says this amends Title 13, Section 22, and it says refusal or neglect to answer questions or false answers. Whoever, being over 18 years of age, refuses or willfully neglects when requested by the secretary or any other authorized employee of the Department of Commerce or Bureau acting under them, it says if they refuse or willfully neglect, blah, 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 they shall be fined no more than $100. Now that was amended, so now it is up to $5,000, but this is for the census. And this information that I just showed you is not a census, it is a survey. And I looked at the different laws, and here is the law that they are relying on. It says the secretary shall take, compile, and publish censuses of manufacturers, of mineral industries, and of other businesses. You are a private individual. You do not fall into that category. Here's another one that they are citing. The secretary may make surveys deemed necessary to furnish annual and other interim current data on the subjects covered by the census provided for in this title. You are not participating in the U.S. Census. It is a community survey. Again, this is a refusal to answer questions affecting companies, businesses, religious bodies, and other organizations. That does not apply to you. And here is where they are giving you the fine for, let's see, applicability of penal provisions in certain areas. And as I stated, friends, no one has been penalized for this since 1970. Gee, I ain't too good at math, but isn't that like over 50 years? So I wouldn't worry about giving over all of this private information to the federal government. What say you? Did you get one of these? If you did, what were your answers like? I would love to hear it. Curious minds want to know. Thank you, everybody, for being on board. Remember to join me, the free Substack, peggyhall.substack.com. I could not do this important work without you, and I look forward to seeing you in an upcoming broadcast.